Welcome back to Crime Chronicles. Today we will take a look at the shocking hit that took out Kevin Conway, a notorious member of the Firm in Northern Ireland. Stay tuned as we find out why Conway was a target and who was responsible for the hit job. So who was Kevin Conway? We know that he was a gangland enforcer for a Northern Irish drug gang, simply known as the Firm. Informed sources say he was well known in his hometown for collecting debts for the despised narco-gang. Conway wasn't a nice guy, and he didn't take no for an answer. A prominent member of the Firm, Conway was well known for his heavy-handed collection tactics. Conway and other members of the Firm are also known to put pressure on worried relatives to settle the drug debts of their loved ones. Sources say Conway and other members of the gang previously told the people they targeted to take out loans with their local credit union in order to clean their slate with his crime crew. Credit unions are lending institutions operated on behalf of the local communities. It is also believed that some people have been driven to take their own lives over debts to the Firm. It has previously been reported that a young man in the Craigavon area last year took his own life due to the pressure being exerted on him by the Firm over a drug debt. This incident seemed to be the last straw for a community being terrorized by the drug gang and led to a list of alleged drug dealers' names, addresses, and car details being circulated on social media before Christmas. This information may well have been used in the shocking death of Kevin Conway in early January. The 26-year-old father of two, who was originally from the Kilwilkie estate in Lurgan, was shot multiple times in his home at Rossnareen in the Anderson Town area of West Belfast on Tuesday, the 9th of January. Murder victim Conway was gunned down just minutes after telling his partner he was relaxing at home on the PlayStation. A PSNI detective revealed the 26-year-old was shot multiple times after the killers went to his flat in West Belfast armed with a shotgun and pistol around 9:30 p.m. Conway was pronounced dead at the scene. The detective went on to say that the horrific, calculated, and ruthless murder was carried out in a busy residential area and that such cold-blooded brutality had absolutely no place in our society. Police continue to appeal for information from anyone who was in the area on the day of the shooting and who noticed anything suspicious, as well as anyone who has CCTV or dashcam footage. The police are aware that drug gangs regularly intimidate witnesses and added that they understand that people are feeling afraid, but we can all agree those responsible for this shocking murder have no place in our society. The streets will be safer when they are behind bars. Mr. Conway was shot dead almost a year to the day after Lurgan man Shane Whitler was also gunned down. Conway was one of 3 men charged in relation to the Whitler murder, which took place on January the 12th last year. On that occasion, Kevin Conway was alleged to have lured the victim to his execution in an alleyway. It is no surprise that prosecutors have claimed Mr. Whitler was killed over a suspected drug debt to the Firm. The cross-community drugs group has emerged as one of the most dangerous crime gangs operating in the north and has been implicated in murder and other crimes. Several leading figures in the group come from Republican and Loyalist backgrounds, although they are not believed to be politically active. With international links, the gang holds a tight grip on the flow of drugs across a large area of County Armagh and surrounding districts. With a power base in Lurgan, many of its key figures, like Kevin Conway, come from the town. In a cruel twist, Conway's own father, also called Kevin, was also shot dead in 1998. He had disappeared from home, and his remains were later found in a derelict house at Rock Lane in Agalay with a single gunshot to the head. Although never claimed by the group, the killing has been linked to the IRA. In 2018, a Portadown man was acquitted of involvement in the death of Mr. Conway's father. Conway had been granted bail for a second time last July in relation to the Whitler murder after he had earlier absconded from police. Originally bailed on February 20th of last year, he was placed under strict conditions, which included a prohibition on accessing the internet. However, 5 days later, a relative of Mr. Whitler suspected the defendant was online using Facebook Messenger. Screenshot images were forwarded to police, who then called at Conway's bail address in Newry to investigate the potential breach. He was arrested at the property for the alleged violation, but allowed to retrieve a packet of cigarettes and have a smoke at the front door, a court was later told. He then ran off in just his socks, chased by police officers officers who were unable to capture him. Conway handed himself in at a PSNI station 2 days later, and his bail was revoked. A district judge later granted a second application for bail, a decision that was appealed by the Public Prosecution Service. At the time, a Crown lawyer argued there could be no confidence in Conway abiding by the conditions of his release. Concerns were also expressed that the defendant could be targeted in a possible reprisal attack. There are high tensions in the Lurgan area, said the lawyer. He went on to say that this was an organized criminal gang and there is an ongoing feud regarding drug debts. Mr. Conway was killed a short distance from where Sean Fox, who is believed to have had links to the drugs trade, was shot dead at the Donegal Celtic FC Social Club on Suffolk Road in October of 2022. His killers are also believed to have shot dead Mark Hall in West Belfast in December of 2021. It's not yet known if these incidents are linked to Kevin Conway's murder. Further details of the murder are emerging now that 2 men from the city have appeared in court charged with his killing. Aidan O'Keefe, 27, and 53-year-old Fergal Kane allegedly travelled in convoy by van and car to the scene of the assassination at Rossnarine Park on January the 9th. They also both face a second count of possessing a firearm, either a shotgun or a handgun, with intent to endanger life. The 2 accused, whose addresses cannot be reported at this time, were remanded into custody at Belfast Magistrates Court. Appearing together in the dock, neither of them responded when the charges were put to them. Police have confirmed that neither O'Keefe nor Kane answered any questions during interviews. Police claim O'Keefe and Kane can be connected by CCTV evidence, a vehicle tracking device, and registration plate sightings on the night of the killing. The detective heading the investigation into the attack on Mr. Conway confirmed that 2 weapons were used. He said that an initial shotgun blast inflicted an ineffective, non-fatal head injury, but a handgun was effective, causing the death of Mr. Conway fairly quickly. Police told the court O'Keefe attended the Accident and Emergency Department of the Royal Victoria Hospital in Belfast earlier on the evening of the murder. Based on CCTV and a tracking device fitted to his Toyota Proace work van, he then left the hospital without advising staff. It was claimed that the van was driven through a number of streets in the west of the city before linking up with Kane's BMW car. From this point on, the vehicles travel in convoy, the detective said. According to the police case, the car and van parked up a short distance from the scene of the killing before 2 masked men in dark clothing walked towards the victim's home, and one of them can be seen on CCTV footage carrying a handgun. Police know from telecommunications research that Kevin Conway had sent a voice memo to his partner, recording a small snapshot of him playing the PlayStation. It is believed that he was shot dead 2 minutes after that message was sent. Based on CCTV footage and GPRS tracking data, the vehicles then left the area and split up. O'Keefe then returned to the hospital later that night, remaining there until he got a taxi home in the early hours of January the 10th. Although unconfirmed at this stage, his hospital visit may have been an attempt at an alibi. Police seized Kane's BMW and forensically examined it as part of the investigation. Initial tests revealed 3 particles indicative of possible gunshot residue, located on the driver's seat, front passenger footwell, and in the boot of the car. It was claimed that 3 men made a subsequent attempt to get rid of O'Keefe's work van before they were chased off by plainclothes officers who were keeping the vehicle under observation. Police have suggested they were either there to destroy the van or take it out of police hands for the investigation. It seems that Kevin Conway, who lived by the sword, also died by the sword. He was a brutal drug gang enforcer, out on bail for his part in a murder 1 year before his own death. As this case evolves, we can be 99% sure that his alleged killers will have murky pasts and gangland connections. Please subscribe to Crime Chronicles so you don't miss future episodes about this shocking case.